So glad for you to be here today, Rick, and being our next guest on Ask the Expert. But first, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, but we've been in the publishing business for about 20 years. My wife is the author of children's stress management titles. So we've been publishing books independently and with traditional publishers for about 20 years. And about 12 years ago, I started a marketing agency focusing on book marketing, book publicity, the opportunity for authors to get their books out like we did. So the experience that we had in helping Lori with her books is something that I translate to helping independent authors as well. So we really enjoy what we do. I love coming and work every day. I love helping authors navigate the sometimes crazy book industry, and certainly point them in the right direction to get the best out of their experience in writing and bringing a book to market.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we know you have a wealth of experience, but we know we have some amateur writers and sometimes publishers. So could you tell our audience what is the difference between book marketing and book publicity?
Book publicity is it's really when an organization pitches an author and their book to their established list of news media, news outlets, to get them known and shown. Whereas book marketing, in my opinion, is where the author's really responsible for doing that themselves. Many years ago, we worked with a publicist out of New York when my wife's title started getting a little bit more popular. It's a chunk of money that you have to lay out up front for them. And it's a little challenging for independent authors to get success with a publicity house or a publicity agent, but it's not unusual. It's just something that if there's a certain topic of a book that's a hot topic now, or if it's something that is timeless, there's a better chance of having that type of success. So yeah, it's something that to look at, but I would be careful in jumping into a contract with a publicity firm.
Okay. Thank you so much for that
Yeah.
feedback. Some of the other questions that some of our publishers and authors have is, what is the first step of marketing their book after it's published? Or should they have a marketing plan prior to publishing?
In the ideal world, an author should be marketing their book while they're writing it. There's so many things to do when you're talking about marketing a book that it's difficult to do it once you publish the book. I visualize that hourglass being turned over once that publishing day comes around, and now everything that you're doing is time sensitive, is super important to get out. So the ideal world is you start as soon as you can, and you start building a team to help you. You start submitting for book reviews. You start posting and trying to grow a social network. You're working on a website. You're doing all those things that will help you in the long run market your book and be successful. But most of the people that I come across will contact us once they're done with the book, and they're exhausted, by the way, and they're broke to an extent. They're not realizing what's involved in marketing. But the sooner they start, the better. But if they publish the book, then there's a certain order to the strategies that need to be implemented.
Okay, great. So I know with that being said, you talked about a key point is, the financial portion of that. So that kind of goes into my next question,
Okay.
which is, what are some budget-friendly marketing strategies for self-published authors?
I think the easiest one or one couple are building a team of people to help you. Call it a street team, if that makes sense. These are people that are with you the entire time. Hopefully, they've been with you while you're working on the book, creating the cover, giving, you're interacting with them, making them feel like they're part of the project. Um, and these are the people that are going to help you with the launch. They're going to help you in writing reviews. They're going to help you share your content on social media, or like your content, or help you get the word out there about your book. So building a street team is one there's no cost to that. The other one is reviews. I mean, book reviews, as every author knows, is the lifeblood of an author and the success of a project, and they are extremely important. And that's something also that does not take. You can get reviews and editorial reviews and work with book bloggers for no cost. Our program is one of our marketing programs is very robust with reviews. We have hundreds and hundreds of book bloggers that we submit our authors to, and it takes 6 weeks or 4 weeks to get reviews back. So again, getting back to the prior question, the sooner you start that, the sooner you'll start receiving these reviews, some of which you could put up in your editorial section. Some book bloggers will post on Goodreads or Barnes and Noble before the book's published. And of course, most people realize they can't write reviews on Amazon until the book's published, but they're prepared to once they get to that part. But reviews and street team are two very cost-effective strategies.
And I just wanted to add on to what you said. I know with our U.S. authors and publishers, if you guys aren't already taking advantage of this, Share and Sell is a really great feature that our U.S. authors and publishers can use to kind of promote their book. It's a landing page for their book that has a synopsis of the book along with a photo. So if you're an author and publisher with IngramSpark and in the U.S. and you haven't taken advantage of that, you definitely need to do so. But I'm going to jump into my next
Okay.
question about the budget. So with indie authors and publishers, they're typically limited on how much marketing budget that they have. What do you tell them, which is a good start for their marketing budget? What a good marketing budget for their self-published book?
If authors want to do it correctly, they should be thinking about 5 to 7 thousand on a marketing budget. And might seem crazy, but by the time you're talking about promotions, advertising, um, website, hiring a marketing expert, the costs get up there. And there's an order to do things, strategically speaking, and by the time you're done, and that could be over, that could be over a 3-year period. It doesn't mean it's done up front, but if you do it yourself, it's obviously less, but there is a better chance that there's going to be wasted money on strategies. For instance, I speak to a lot of authors that are just starting the marketing, and a couple of things that they've tried are Facebook ads, and they haven't had success. And there's a reason for that. So instead of throwing money out, it's best to, while you're writing the book, plan what the costs are in publishing, then what the costs would be in marketing, see if that fits into your budget. If it doesn't, then you have to figure out where in that process you can cut back. But since marketing is, there's no time limit on how long you'll be marketing your book. So over the course of that time period, if you're getting traction and getting success, most people won't mind spending a little bit more money, knowing that they're seeing results. So it's smart to be cautious, to plan it out, but unfortunately, you need the money to market a book properly.
Okay. Well, that makes total sense. And that kind of goes into my next question, which you kind of talked a little bit about earlier, which is do self-publishers and our authors need an author website to be successful?
No is the quick answer, but it helps. I view a website as a giant business card that you can send all of your target audience to, all of your prospects to, people to. And from there, they can find your social platforms, they could find your reseller platforms and where your book's being sold and have the little icons for those resellers down there. They could find out about you. They could find out about what you've been doing media wise, whether you're being interviewed on podcasts or have your own podcast. So a website does help. Everything is about search engines and content creation, and a website gives you the platform to do that. However, if you don't have a website, you need to have an online presence. So whether it's through a social platform or two, or a YouTube channel, there has to be something where people can find you organically and be able to then find your books, find out more about you, and go from there. But fortunately, websites aren't that expensive these days. I've seen quotes for from a couple hundred to a couple thousand, but I'd say on average, a good website with proper SEO and proper functions would be 1,000 or two, in my opinion.
And I know we talked a little bit about earlier, I spoke a little bit about sharing sales. So if you don't have a website and you just need something really quick, using sharing the sale QR code that'll take them directly to the landing page is also another a great option as
Right.
well. And you kind of spoke about this in my next question about book reviews. We know that book reviews are good for marketing a book, but how can you tell our audience a way for them to be able to capture good book reviews of their book?
Book reviews are broken down into two. One are reader reviews that you'll see on Amazon or Barnes and Noble. The other one are editorial reviews if you want to keep the categories very clean. Editorial reviews are anybody else that's not a reader review. And that could be industry review companies, it could be book bloggers. I think the more reviews you have, the more your book is showing up on the internet. So a lot of the book bloggers, they have their own websites, they have their own social platforms. They will post it minimally on Goodreads, but some of them will also post it on Barnes and Noble. Some will even cross post it on Amazon. Reviews are just so important that the author really needs to jump on that as early as possible. You can Google top review companies or top book bloggers and do that. That's something that at a minimum creates validation for your work. And that's initially what you're looking for. You're looking for your writing to be validated, for people who land on your book page in whatever platform to automatically see 25 4 and 5 star reviews. And when they see that, there's something almost subconscious that happens where they just will add the book to the cart. Typically, if somebody's going to your online book, they're referred to it. So through an ad or through a word of mouth or promotion. So they're already interested, and book reviews, reader reviews, editorial reviews will absolutely help in the validation of your work. And same thing with Goodreads. I mean, Goodreads itself is a platform that I feel is very underused in the industry. And there's so many readers on Goodreads that are looking for books. And if your book is well reviewed, there's links right there. They can click on it and go right to Barnes & Noble and buy the book, or bookshop.org and buy the book. So each of these little increments are important for the bigger picture.
Those are some great tips and nuggets. I hope you guys are writing these down because Rick is really dropping some gems today. I know a lot of times authors, when they sell their books, they think that they should bundle it with other things. Should authors, self-published authors, look at possibly adding merchandise along with their titles?
Yeah, I think that's an individual decision. I understand it. Authors or entrepreneurs, they're looking to create awareness. They're looking to sell books. They're looking to reach an audience. And if you could reach them through merch, then I think it's valid to do so. I would caution people that are entrepreneurial in nature that if you are going in too many different directions, you can take your eye off the ball. So I remember when my wife was on ABC Shark Tank in the first season, Barbara Corcoran drove a point home that I just remembered because it's super important, and that was that you should focus on one thing and master it. Mm-hmm. When you start going in multiple directions, now you're splitting your time, you're splitting your resources, you're taking your time away from what you're really focusing in on. So I would just caution people to be careful if they do that. But if you feel it's something that goes with your book, if you feel it's something that has a way of expanding the audience, sure, I would go for it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I think a lot of first-time authors and publishers may be wondering about this next question, which is, how do I find my book audience?
There's a couple different ways. I think if you look on, a quick way is looking on social media. Believe it or not, if you look at other authors that are either more established, popular, they're going to have an audience that is established already, and that you could be sharing that audience. You see what they post, you see what is a hot topic or what people are responding to, and that'll help you understand your audience a little bit better. Sometimes it's the genre that you're in that will help you establish your target audience. But think of the writing. When you're writing a book, you have an audience in mind, mm-hmm. hopefully, and that is typically your core audience. Now that could be expanded, and that's an example of that would be children's books, especially for younger kids. Your target audience ideally is children, but kids aren't buying books themselves.
Correct.
Is the mom the core audience? Is the grandmother that's going to read the book to the child the core audience, or are they sub audiences for them? So I think people understand where I'm going with that, but it starts with you writing the book and understanding what your audience is there. But there's other ways you can kind of look for that beyond that.
Awesome. Well, guys, this is the part where you definitely need to be writing this information down. Okay, so this is probably one of the last two questions are really, really important. So please make sure you have your pen and paper ready, because we're going to get into a little bit about Rick and stress-free book marketing. So our next question is, what types of service does stress-free book marketing offer?
Okay, we offer full book marketing services from the time an author's writing a book through the publishing phase, through the launch phase, through the initial phase, the 1 to 3 months or 4 months after, all the way and beyond. We also offer individual marketing services. So if somebody comes to us and says, I really want to just focus in on reviews, we can help them. Understanding social media and how that works, we can help them. Focusing in on getting content created and podcasts submitted to. Those are things that we can do individually. And we also do offer self-publishing services. We do have a full team that helps with interior design, cover design, editing. And if people want to create a book, all those services are listed on the website, and they can get a sense of what we do. But our core focus is book marketing, and it's something that we've been doing for a while, something that we've experienced success with, fortunately, as a publisher. And one of the reasons why IngramSpark contacted us many years ago to help their authors.
Awesome. So where can our audience of self-published authors and publishers, where can they find you? Where can they reach you at? Make sure you guys are writing this down.
Okay, so it's very easy. Stressfreebookmarketing.com. Stressfreebookmarketing.com. The name is not coincidental. I believe very strongly that this process of writing a book and bringing a book to market should be joyful. It should be something that's fun. It should be exciting. It's like bringing a child into the world. You want to share it. You want people to read it. You want to feel the emotions from it, which we understand. And it should not be something that is frustrating. And one of the reasons why I started getting into the marketing side was too many authors have had bad experiences. Some of them are horrific. Some of them are average. But if anybody understands what it's like to feel like they've been taken advantage of, that's not a good feeling. So it needs to be stress-free. It needs to be fun and exciting, and that's the way to approach it. And that's the name of our publishing firm, Stress Free Kids, and the marketing agency, stressfreebookmarketing.com.
And can they find you on any social platforms, Rick? I forgot to ask you that.
My two go-to platforms are Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
My Instagram account is mostly family, and although LinkedIn also, sorry. So LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter are those. And if you just search under Rick Lite, you'll find those on those platforms.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that, Rick. We're getting ready to go into the question and answer portion of the discussion. So, audience members, if you have any questions for Rick, go ahead and drop them down into the comments. If you have any feedback about what we've talked about so far, go ahead and leave that in the comments as well. If not, I know we have some folks that sent us some questions. We'll ask and answer those. But yeah, now is the time to ask those questions for Rick. Velma said she had to leave early. Love the topic. Thank you. Very helpful. Awesome. So Nutmeg Soccer Shop messaged us and said, I will be attending the ALA in San Diego. How can I promote my children's book at that event?
If you have a booth, which hopefully you do, or can share with somebody, I would suggest just having some graphics, having some things to give to people, a one sheet with your book information or books. I'm not sure how many books you have, but also engage people. And anytime you're doing a conference, you want to be in front of the table or up against the table, talking with people, engaging with people, having your book and books right there, not sitting down or not just waiting for people to approach you. You have to be a little bit assertive, and people will talk to you. And then you'll notice as you start talking to 2 or 3 people, other people come over because they feel like they're missing something. Now you have a booth full of people that are looking at your books and seeing what your products are. And that makes the day go very quick. So hopefully you understand the audience there, and you have a good show. Wish you a lot of luck. Trade shows are fun.
They are fun. They're a lot of fun. The next question is from Agata Reed. She says, or they say, what's the preferred format for the book reviewed? Do they prefer ebooks or printed ones?
Most of the time you can get away with the digital copy, either PDF or ebook. there are some people that still like to read physical books. Just make sure that I mean, it's a great use of, it's an inexpensive marketing technique to send a book. You know, you're talking about postage and the printing costs of the book. So just make sure it's people that have a good following, and that the blogger or the person you're sending it to is somebody that can help out, or just send a digital copy of that. But for the most part, digital works.
Okay. So we have a couple more questions,
Yeah.
Rick. Author MJ Pankey says, can you share any titles that you have marketed in the past?
You could if you look at my website, the easiest way to get those are all the people that I've helped will be listed on the bottom part of my homepage, and that will give you an idea of who I've helped and what I've done. You could check out there's links directly to Amazon or one of the other sellers there with their books. Um, that's a conversation that would be better had offline, where I can give more details to that.
Okay, we have another question from Andrea. Is it Andrea Discom? What are some creative ways and organizations to promote a read and learn children's book?
Just can you repeat that?
Yeah, I think she may have had a couple typos.
It's
Maybe
okay.
I think she's asking what are some creative ways to promote like a read and learn children's book, and I'm assuming she's talking about like organizations to reach out to.
Yeah, it depends what the book is, the topic of the book. If the book is helping kids become more mindful, or with anxiety or stress, or things that are mental health or behavioral issues, school counselors are a great place to start. The fortunate thing about our public school system, the fortunate thing is that the emails are listed on the website for the schools. They list the counselors, the principals, the teachers, you can get information to anybody. So I would say go after a small, maybe even around your area, your hometown. Go after the elementary schools in your hometown. Send an email to the counselors. Information about your book, how it can benefit them. Keep in mind that schools and educators love follow-up lessons. So if your books teach something, and if you can provide them with the lessons that they can then implement after they read the book to the children, that's going to give you a leg up on somebody that's just sending a book to them. But right now, schools are kind of ending, at least in the Southeast. But that could be a summer project to get going in the early part of the school system or school year next in August or September. Hopefully
Yeah,
that
and I was gonna
helped.
yeah, I was gonna add on to that too, Rick. When you said the schools are ending, I was like libraries. Libraries have great summer programs,
Yeah,
especially for children. Definitely think about adding that organization
camps,
into your marketing
summer
strategy as well.
camps.
Yep,
There's a
exactly.
lot of summer activities for kids. So
Yeah. Mine is going to a lot of them. It just made me think. I was like, ah, camps, libraries. Yeah.
there you go.
So this is the last part of our discussion, which is the giveaway. So I hope you guys have been taking some meticulous notes, because we are going to ask a couple of questions to you, and the first person who answers the question correctly will get a prize that I will be mailing to you. So I hope you took some really great notes. So the first question is, name two budget-friendly methods that Rick stated how that you can market your book. Two budget friendly methods that he had talked about previously. Don't all rush it at once, guys. Okay, I get to read reviews and a street team. That is absolutely correct. Make sure that you send us a direct message after the live, and I will get your contact information and address, and I will mail you a special prize. And make sure you guys are tagging us in your photos with your book. That's another free way you can market. Always tag IngramSpark with your titles. We love that. We love your unboxing videos. Always make sure to tag us. Okay, guys? Wonderful. Okay, so the next question is, where did Rick state that you could reach him and find stress-free book marketing? He named a couple of social platforms, and if you can name his website, I'll add a little bonus in there for you. Where did Rick state that you could reach him? Esther's correct. Twitter and Facebook. Awesome. Esther, make sure to message me at IngramSpark Books, and I will make sure to mail you your gift. We have 2 more questions, guys, and then we're going to wrap it up. Name some of the services that Rick stated that stress-free book marketing offers to publishers and writers. Name some of the services. Got to make sure y'all are paying attention. I think I must be frozen. Let's see. Oh, is it Aziza Conde? Podcast help and social media. That is correct. Make sure that you send me a direct message and I'll make sure to get that mailed to you. Okay, Aziza? All right. And my very last question. If you've been watching these Ask the Expert episodes, you will have no problem with this question. Name at least one previous Ask the Expert speaker, or name a topic that we discussed in a previous episode. Not today's episode, a previous episode. Esther, I've got you down for share and sale, but I'm going to open it up to one more person because you just won one. So I'm going to let somebody else have the opportunity, but I'll stick something extra in there for you. We keep all of our episodes located in the Reels. So in case you guys missed this episode or know someone that could have benefited from this episode, we do save all the episodes so you can go back and watch it just in case you missed anything or if you were a little late. Anyone else? Any previous episode topic or speaker? They're literally located in our Reels. One more, guys. Anybody? I'm new to this, not sure. It's okay. It's okay. It's in our Reels. I'm gonna give one more minute. If no one can name me a speaker or previous topic, we will just end it right here and wrap it up with Rick. Okay, Benita, it's okay. You can guess. No, not copyright. It's in our Reels, previous episodes, or go to our Instagram page and you will see flyers for previous episodes. And it'll have the topic and the speaker. You'll be doing your homework for sure. Absolutely. And please go back and watch some of the other episodes. We have some really, really, really good topics. And we may have to do a part 2 on this, Rick. I know some of these book marketing questions were really general, but I know we have some authors that are a little bit more advanced and they may have some more questions. See what check them out after this stream. Well, we're going to wrap it up after this question. I am going to give you guys some of the answers because I really want you guys to go back and watch the episode. Esther, I'll just double your prize. Sharon sale was another topic, and we also mentioned it in this episode with Rick about how U.S. authors and publishers can kind of create a QR code with their title on it, and that way people can purchase it directly. They can also embed it on their website, put it on their social media. We've had other conversations about Global Connect, best practices when it comes to general questions and answers that you may have. And of course, today, book marketing with Rick Lite. So we all want to say thank you, Rick, for coming on
Thank
today
you.
and being an amazing speaker. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for joining, Rick. I hope you had a great time. Thank you so much, audience. And I will see you next month at the next episode of Ask the Expert. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day. And don't forget to share your story with the world.
Thanks.